Okay, look, I know car videos are not your favorite, but they're better than cat videos, as was said. I want to talk to you about this idea that maybe we got a little confused when we considered who were the leaders in our group. It appeared that about half of you, as I count, actually listed people who were pretty junior. Now, don't get me wrong, junior people to your organization can exhibit leadership. They can be leaders. So I don't want to tell you that they're not leaders. But the interesting thing is, as I dived into this thought a little bit more, I realized, and a few people on my list, if you're on my list, I wrote about it a little bit. Some people wrote me back and said, well, maybe this is because new people are enthusiastic. That whenever someone joins a job, whether they're junior in their career or they've been doing it for a very long time, they join the job with the idea that this job is going to be better and different and more empowering and amazing. And they just believe that the job is going to be amazing. So they start off by offering lots of great ideas and suggestions. And they tend to be the person who doesn't know the constraints, hasn't been worn down by the politics. They don't know what can't be done. So therefore, they're offering all kinds of ideas. And the part maybe, and so just to be clear, motivation is a part of leadership. But not just our own motivation, of course. It's the motivation we inject into the team. Some teams, when new people come, become energized. But I'll be honest, I've seen plenty of other teams that when a new person comes with all kinds of ideas, they're actually not energized, but they do their best to squash those ideas, to say, that's not how we do things here, or just hang out for a year before you start trying to change things. Why don't you see exactly how this works before you start trying to make a bunch of adjustments? From that said, some teams will actively resist change. And let's go back to our Satir change model. A new person is a foreign element, and some teams resist. In fact, we almost always go into resistance phase. So the way the team resists is to tell that person, those ideas don't count because you haven't worked here long enough. That isn't how we do things, or whatever. The person quickly realizes, of course, that, my ideas aren't valued. No one wants these ideas. I used to have good ideas, but I've learned to keep them to myself. And even if the team never says that, the person is usually assigned their first project, then their second project. They begin to get into the grind of work, right? They begin to get into the daily production cycle. And this alone inhibits new ideas and changes motivations, because now we're just trying to hit our weekly or sprint targets. So we are motivated to do that, to keep our jobs, to keep things running, rather than to make a lot of changes. This might be why, sometimes new people in an organization look like leaders, and we wish other folks would take the kind of initiatives and bring ideas to us that new people do. But in reality, maybe we're getting a little fooled by the enthusiasm. I just wanted to share this idea with you because I think it is something that many leaders desire, is to have more personal enthusiasm in each developer. But I think the part where leadership comes in is that leaders inject motivation into the system of people who work together. And you might start to think about how do you inject motivation? Imagine like you were going to inject a shot against a disease. Maybe it's a polio shot. You inject that shot into someone else. You take what you have, the vaccine, and you inject it over into someone else. Common ways of motivating teams that aren't just filled with junior people are giving them the why, giving them control, allowing them to a lot of autonomy, allowing them to building empathy with users, seeing the impact of their work. Unfortunately, too many organizations believe that the best way to motivate is by threatening, giving deadlines, and really just pressing people as hard as they can. Sure, that is a carrot and stick motivation that will have some effect. may not have the effect that you want. Okay. All right. Thanks, everybody. Bye-bye.